and welcome to Zone 6 Bill Garden Guy. What are you doing in there? I'm just checking how much space there is in the freezer in the basement to see if there's enough room for the sauce, stewed tomatoes, and more that I've made in previous episodes. And it looks like there'll be enough room for everything. Oh, by the way, you don't need a huge freezer to store homegrown treasures. I'll show you storage methods that don't take up a lot of space, yet will keep you satisfied in the dead of winter with wonderful fresh-tasting treats from the garden or farmer's market that you've prepared yourself. So let's get to it, shall we? And another, by the way, it's really cold in there. This is the pot of spaghetti sauce I made in the last episode. Now, unless you have a very large family or are feeding a small army, you can't possibly use this all at one time. So I'm going to freeze it. Now, after it's cooked, you have to let it cool. And what I do is just leave it on the stove, put the cover on it, until it cools. That way, more and more flavors will permeate through the mixture. Now, if I'm not going to freeze it right away, I'll put it into the refrigerator until I do. There's an endless variety of freezing containers out there. I prefer the Ziploc bags. They're easy to work with, they're inexpensive, they don't take up that much room. They're stackable, standing on their bottoms or flat on their sides. Always be sure to label your bags with contents and the date. And even though I'm using quart bags or 4 cups, I'm just going to put 3.5 cups in each bag. It'll make a little head space and they'll lie a little flatter that way. Put the contents into the bag. Try not to get any sauce onto the zip seal. Zip it part way. With a plastic straw, try to suck out as much of the remaining air as you can. And then finish zipping it up. And there you have a nice flat stackable bag of sauce ready to go at a moment's notice. Now they're ready for the freezer. Pick a spot in your freezer that's relatively flat, or use a metal tray or cookie sheet. And when they are completely frozen, you can take them off and stack them. Boy, this thing really needs defrosting. Oh, for goodness sakes. Uncle Herman's hand. He lost it last Thanksgiving while carving the turkey. Won't Aunt Vera be happy? She's really gotten tired of holding the other end of the violin while Uncle Herman plays at family gatherings. In the last episode, I made a pot of stewed tomatoes. Now, freezing them is identical to freezing the spaghetti sauce. Once again, I'm measuring out 3.5 cups for placement in a 4-cup or 1-quart freezer bag. That leaves a little room for expansion. Pour into your label and dated freezer bag, trying not to get any of the product on the Ziploc. I did get a little. Wipe it off. Seal the bag about 3/4 of the way, leaving one end open. And unless you have a vacuum sealing machine, use your handy dandy plastic straw and suck out as much air as possible. Seal the rest of it. And there you go. All ready for the freezer. If you don't have the time right now to make sauce or stewed tomatoes with those wonderful red fruits, you can freeze them as is with little effort. Then, at some point in the future, you can make fresh sauce or add them to other cooked dishes for that homegrown flavor. It's really easy. After washing, then placing in a boiling water bath for 60 seconds and then removing the skins as shown in episode 8, simply squeeze out the excess water and seeds. Yup. After washing your hands, just squeeze each tomato, and using your finger or a spoon if need be, Scoop and shake out most of the seeds. Unless your digestive system can't tolerate seeds, you don't need to get fanatical about it. By draining off some of the water now, you'll end up with a thicker sauce in less cooking time, and that preserves vitamins and also preserves your sanity. Now once again, if you don't mind the seeds, you don't need to worry about removing any of them. But removing excess water will speed up the making of the sauce and stewed tomatoes shown in other episodes. Then, just freeze them following the same procedure as the sauce and stewed tomatoes. So if you've got a freezer, take advantage of it. Preserve some of that homegrown goodness for those cold winter nights that are coming up. Until next time, happy gardening. Brrr.